Let's go! Do you believe the Texas Longhorns will win the national championship? They did a good job getting rid of that cancer, Johntay Cook, out of the locker room. But look, I think there is an issue with Quinn Ewers, right? I just don't quite see it. And there were quite a few throws that were just off in this game. I don't know if Bond was supposed to be somewhere else. Now, the coaching community is going crazy over this play design right here. So you have a fake reverse with the puller, and then it looks like they're actually running counter to the left side, and you're actually pitching to Isaiah Bond, and you have a little bit of a return motion right here from the tight end as a lead blocker. Your contained defender, the guy blocking that contains a receiver, and look at Florida's defense. Yeah, you know, Bill Belichick talked about this with Peyton Manning not too long ago. You never want your defense to be in a straight line like that, right? And this play is just absolutely perfectly blocked, and Isaiah Bond, like a true single digit, is able to get the football and do a lot with it. I mean, Bond is the real freaking deal, and Texas is cooking with this rushing scheme. Wow, wow, wow. So I'm not sure if the Gators watched film really at all, because Texas has run this play quite a bit. They ran this, or a variation of this, for the first touchdown versus Mississippi State. And you're faking a little screen. You have a vertical, and then you have another vertical behind it, right? So everyone's biting on the screen in the flats, and this is just wide open for a touchdown. Really good design. Once again, Texas has shown this play a few times on film. They ran it with Arch versus Mississippi State, and it's a walk-in touchdown. And then the easiest touchdown play of the day, you get a little RPO action here, and, well, Gunnar Helm, one of the best tight ends in the SEC, this is just an easy pull read. You can see Florida's in too high. Where do you want to attack too high? Right up the gut, and there was nobody accounting for the tight end right there, and it is a walk-in tutty. So the main reason Florida got blown out in this game is because they didn't have a quarterback. Let's be fair. But at the same time, this was one of the best called Sark games, right? So play action fake. There was so much misdirection in this game, and it looks like it's a rollout to the right. And what do? You throw it back to the left. Now, the thing about these kinds of plays is when your offensive line releases, it always helps to have a defensive lineman to be able to catch it from behind. But you see that this fake drew 3 of these defensive linemen basically out of the play. So can Uno, as a single-digit player, chase it down from behind? No, he's not about that life, because you got really good blocks. And 2-6 has been really explosive for Texas. So touchdown here. I think he had a big run in the Oklahoma game, and it's just perfectly blocked. You know, part of the allure of these plays is the design, but you got to give the Longhorns receivers and linemen a lot of credit because they blocked it really well too. All right, so this is the Devonta Smith play, right? This was a huge touchdown versus LSU in 2020, and obviously Sark was the offensive coordinator of the Alabama Crimson Tide. So here's basically it, and this is how far I'm going for you Texas fans. This game still hurts me to this day. So your job is to create as much traffic and get in front of this DB, stop him in his tracks. It's kind of like what Chris Paul does in transition. You'll see him dribble and just stop to make the defender stop, right? So his job, get out in front, and the ball is actually designed to go here, okay? But you have to shield off this DB and then go. And you see Stingley goes over here, and he's like, hey, who's guarding him? And then guess what? It's actually going to Devonta Smith. And what this basically is a switch vertical, all right? So he's running a vertical here, and there's a vertical being run around it. And it is really hard on a cloud-ish corner who's carrying with the vertical here. It's so hard for the corner to try and figure out what he's supposed to do. Is he supposed to stick with this assignment, or is he supposed to stay with 2? Watch what 2 does. He does a good job of getting in front of him and then shielding him and then going vertical. So why did he throw it behind him? Well, there really wasn't a whole lot of pressure. He felt like he had to fade away to make sure he can get it off. And this is the thing. His deep ball throwing, as you guys saw, he missed a few in this first half, has not really been all that great. I mean, that's just not a good throw. But since it was so open and Carmani McClain is overrated, it's an easy touchdown. All right, so there's a false start penalty. It's 3rd and B cave. And what do? Well, a lot of coaches make the mistake of running deep stuff, right? You don't want to run deep stuff versus this because, well, they're probably going to bring some type of pressure to try and get you out of field goal range. And it's just a lot of yards to gain, right? They're going to have DBs waiting for you at the sticks. So what do? You throw a nice little play action, and you get lucky that there's a blitz, and you see there's 5 Gators here. Isaiah Bond with a lot of space. And the thing about these Sark screens is he is very aggressive with this lineman releasing down the field, right? All 4 of them are down the field. Look at this orange wave of offensive players, and it's just really hard. Bond makes one guy miss, and then it's blouses, okay? This is downright insane speed, and he is gone, okay? It's just really good design. And look, if you gain 5 yards there, it's an easy field goal or easier field goal. You get it all, though. All right, it's 3rd and Leander. Arch Manning steps into the game. Comment below, do you believe Arch should be the guy? I'll be honest. I think this was one of the best offensive play called games I can remember. It really was that brilliant of a game from Sark. I don't really like when it's 3rd and long and everything is like deeper routes. There's no crossers or anything like that. But honestly, this right here to Isaiah Bond probably should be ripped, all things considered. But instead, Arch Manning decides to extend the play. And look at this throw right here from Arch. Steps up into the pocket. God, the touch on this is unfreaking believable. First down. What a catch from Blue. What I want you to do down below, do you believe? You got to love the intensity. That play sheet didn't deserve that, Sark. But for real, what I want you to do, first off, is subscribe, ring the bell. Let me know if you want to see more Longhorn videos. Honestly, though, do you think Texas is actually getting it done, right? In honor of the great Vince Young, in honor of Mac Brown, as you see Wingo in the background, who's obviously a super talent. I'll say this. I still can't believe how selfish Johntay Cook was, basically just kind of taking himself out of the team. Why would you mutually decide to split a national championship team? I mean, goodness gracious. And I found it rich that he shared a Jay Billis speech on Twitter about knowing your role and doing what's right for the team just for you to do this. I really like Texas. And you notice we didn't do any defensive reps. If you want to see a defensive breakdown, let me know down below. This team is potentially my favorite team to watch in all of college football this season because the Sark offense is so damn saucy. And I know Quinn is getting hyped, but anyone that's actually sat and watched these games, including the Oklahoma game, I understand, he's had injuries and stuff like that. Man, he is not really playing that sharply, and that's the sign that the offense is loaded. I mean, it's crazy how good the rushing schemes have been without Baxter and those running backs, right? You've had other guys step up. Offensive line, really freaking good stuff. But, as someone who does a film study of every LSU game, of every Oklahoma game, calling plays where things are just so freaking unbelievably wide open. And truth be told, there has been a lot of bad defenses this year in the SEC, if you will. But there's just not many offensive coordinators that are scheming things up quite like he's doing it right now. So I think at this point, I would probably have Texas as my number 2 SEC team, depending on how this Ole Miss and Georgia game plays out. Whoever wins that, to me, is the best team in the Southeastern Conference. Boom! And tonight, we are doing Buffalo chicken pizza. Let's go.